Henry Leland may not be a household name, but few pioneers of the motor industry have left such a legacy. Awarded the moniker the Grand Old Man of Detroit, he founded two legendary marques, rescued an automotive giant, and had a bitter feud with the most celebrated car maker of all. Remarkably, he achieved all this after his 60th birthday. He came into the automotive industry late in his lifetime, but in that short span of years founded two of America's most storied automotive brands. This is the story of how one old American guy went from farming to building the two premier American luxury automotive marques, Cadillac and Lincoln. Story begins in 1843. A small town called Barton, nestled near the Canadian border, became the birthplace of a remarkable individual, where his family, like many others in the region, made their living through a modest farm. Henry's early years were intertwined with the ebb and flow of agricultural life, instilling in him a deep appreciation for the land and a strong work ethic. By the time he reached the age of 14, he'd left the farm to seek his fortune. That odyssey first took him to Massachusetts, where he trained to be a machinist's apprentice. When Henry got to Massachusetts, he was overwhelmed to see how fast and different city life was compared to the village he had come from. As a young man, he hired into the Brown and Sharp Machine Tool Company, where he gained his first experience in precision machining and engineering. After that, Henry moved to Detroit and established Leland and Falconer and turned it into the most respected machine shop in the city. Leland's machine shop and foundry had plenty of work, including producing stationary and marine engines. As the infant automobile industry got off the ground, Leland turned his expertise to cars. Then 1902, Henry Leland came to the idea of Cadillac. He created Cadillac from the remains of the Henry Ford Company and chose to reorganize the company as Cadillac Automobile Company, naming it after French explorer Antoine de Mothe Cadillac, the founder of Detroit, which was America's automotive hub as well as the home of the company. In 1904, Cadillac manufactured over 2,500 cars, a massive number for the time period. Henry's cars gained a reputation for being better made and more reliable. Just 6 short years later, Cadillac brought the idea of interchangeable parts to the automotive industry and laid the groundwork for modern mass production of automobiles. As a result, Cadillac became the first American car to win the prestigious Stewart Trophy from the Royal Automobile Club of England. After earning such high praise, Cadillac adopted the slogan "Standard of the World." In 1909, a young automobile company by the name of General Motors purchased the Cadillac Motor Company for $4.5 million. Even after the purchase, Cadillac continued to live up to its claim of being the world's standard. In 1910, Cadillac became the first company to offer a passenger car with a fully enclosed cabin, a major change from the vehicles of the time. 2 years after that, in 1912, the company released the Model 30, the car with no crank, which was the first production car to feature an electronic self-starter, ignition, and lighting. By dropping the crank starter, Cadillac opened the door to women drivers and was able to bring the prestigious Stewart Trophy back to Detroit, making Cadillac the only car manufacturer to claim the award twice. Nearly 3 years later, Cadillac brought the world the V-Type, 8-cylinder engine, which would become the signature of the Cadillac brand. Shortly after, in 1917, Leland left General Motors to found Lincoln Motor Company. Leland not only founded Cadillac but helped establish the brand as one of exceptional quality and technical achievement. The Roaring '20s was not only a big decade for the country but was also important for Cadillac. In 1926, Cadillac branched out and offered customers more than 500 color combinations to choose from. That same year, the company brought in designer Harley Earl to design the 1927 LaSalle convertible coupe, which made the car the first to be designed from a designer's perspective rather than an engineering one. In the middle of the 1930s, Cadillac created the first V-Type 16-cylinder engine for use in a passenger car. This engine would go on to be one of the most iconic engines in Cadillac history. Shortly thereafter, Cadillac released a V12 version to give buyers something between the already popular V8 and the new V16 engines. Cadillac also offered over 68 body styles by the mid-1930s, giving their customers even more customized ability to set their cars apart from the rest. Two of the more infamous Cadillacs during the late 20s and early 30s belonged to Al Capone, who had his Cadillacs customized with bulletproof glass and a police siren. Cadillac's success and technical progress continued through the 1930s, but then World War II hit. Cadillac went quiet in the 1941s when they suspended automobile production to help produce planes for the war. After the war ended, Cadillac adapted some of the aircraft technology and created the first ever tailfin on a vehicle. This feature is now found on almost every car and was one of the biggest reasons that Cadillac was given the first ever Car of the Year award in 1949. Cadillac became a staple not only in the road but on the big screen and with the biggest celebrity. Through General Motors' aggressive marketing, driving a Cadillac became a status symbol in America, to everyone from celebrities and professional athletes to presidents. The formation of the Cadillac brand as a luxury vehicle is even reflected in pop culture such as Elvis Presley's 1955 pink Cadillac or the film Solid Gold Cadillac. Small but meaningful innovations filled the 1960s for Cadillac. In 1963, the company made front seatbelts standard in their vehicles, which led to the eventual passing of a federal law requiring front seatbelts in all vehicles just 1 year later. Then, in 1964, Cadillac brought to market automatically controlled headlamps and redefines luxury with comfort control, the industry's first thermostatically controlled heating, venting, and air conditioning system. Over the next few years, Cadillac introduced variable ratio power steering, electric seat warmers, and stereo radio. Cadillac started out 1970 with a major bang. Cadillac opened the decade by unveiling the 400 horsepower, 8.2-liter engine Eldorado. With its completely redesigned axle, this model boasted the highest torque capacity of any passenger car available at the time. Closing out the decade, Cadillac brought to market the 1978 Seville, which used onboard microprocessors in its digital display. This started the era of the computerized automobile. Cadillac remained the dominating force in the luxury car market, as the idea that bigger is better still rang true with buyers. Cadillac's motto was "There's no limit to perfection." The company received the Motor Trend Award 5 times, and in 1984 it was featured as the 60 feet longest car in the Guinness Book of World Records. 26 wheels, it could probably hold up to about 75 people. It has a putting green, it has a pool. This was the original record holder for the longest car/limousine in the world. However, as the economy declined and a widespread oil crisis spread, owning giant, gas-guzzling sedans became far less convenient and far more expensive. The rise of imported cars gave Cadillac some serious competition, and the brand started to lose ground as the standard of excellence in America. The company responded poorly to this rise of imports. To compete with all the new compact foreign automobiles, the company began downsizing its entire lineup to create a team of smaller, fuel-efficient cars. Consumers recognized the decline in the quality of Cadillac's cars, and it reflected in the company's sales. Cadillac's share of the U.S. luxury car market dropped from 31% in 1980 to just 22% in 1990. America's luxury car market was heavily dominated by Mercedes, with Toyota's newly introduced Lexus brand close behind, followed by BMW. But in 1999, the introduction of what would become one of Cadillac's most iconic vehicles would prevent a total collapse and help revamp the brand. The 1999 Escalade was Cadillac's answer to the full-size SUV boom and its response to the success of Lincoln's Navigator. The Escalade not only performed well sales-wise, it became a pop culture icon in itself, making its way into movies and music videos, as well as becoming a popular choice among celebrity car buyers. Things were starting to look up. Cadillac saw a bump in sales, a rise in popularity with the youth market thanks to the Escalade, and somehow survived General Motors' 2009 bankruptcy. In 2018, the brand saw its U.S. luxury car market share dip to a lowly 7%, selling only 154,702 cars that year, which put it behind even Acura. In 2018, Cadillac stopped being the most popular national premium brand in the America market.